Okay, here we go. We're in, and the sound should be working now. We're used to this by now, but welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. It is Wednesday, the 8th of July, and it's great to see everyone. Say hello, please, in the chat, and I'll give you a shout out just while we're waiting on a few more people to join. We've also got our special, well, I say special guest. He's our social media manager. So he's here all the time. It's Sam King. He has joined us today. So just as we're getting settled in here, hello, Graham. Hi, Gareth. Good to see you all again. Denisa, great to see the usual names popping in here. It makes me feel a lot better knowing that we get the regulars joining every week. The loyal people joining this webinar. Thank you so much for joining again today. Wednesday, the 8th of July. It's 11 a.m. and you know what that means. It's time for the weekly Wednesday webinar. So a good warm welcome to everyone. And we've got a few new faces in here today. Hello, Steve. Hello, Carol, Ben, Michelle, good morning. Sound, everything's working. Technical bits and bobs sorted out. All we need to do every week, guys, is I just refresh the button and the sound works every time I refresh it. So we're all good. We're all set and ready to go. We sometimes have a couple of late arrivals, so we're just waiting on those guys. Today, though, we're covering social media. We're looking at how you can create engaging posts and much, much more. Denise, no plans at the moment apart from the webinar. Good to hear. Good to hear. Good. Sam, can you hear me? Are you there, Sam? You probably just need to turn on your video. We can't. Oh, there we go. Hi, Sam.
Hey.
Hi. Good to see you. Hair's looking fantastic, might I just add at the moment. So
yeah, I'm
great
now.
to see you. So everyone, if you haven't met Sam already, this is Sam King, our head of social media, and he knows everything when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. I mean, the list goes on, doesn't it, Sam?
It does.
So, unfortunately for Sam, he might not get, might not be able to say much today. Sam, I'm going to do quite a lot of the presenting today, as you might know. But I just want to tell the audience that Sam has written a lot of the material and presentation that we're going to go through today. So Sam has contributed to a lot of this, and Sam's going to interject at certain times throughout this webinar. So I'll bring him in. If you didn't know already, we're Yorkshire's only Google Premium Partner and Microsoft Elite Channel Partner, and we're Facebook Advertising Partner. So if you didn't know that already, well, that's us. We're Yorkshire's only. And this is what we're covering today. So I'm going to get straight into it because we've got a lot to cover. So over the past couple of weeks, specifically last week, we looked at local search and how it affects your local business and what you need to do as a local business. That video is getting uploaded to YouTube today, so you'll be able to see that webinar from last week on YouTube channel today. I'll share the YouTube channel link at the end if someone can remind me, please. And then the week before, we looked at Microsoft ads. And we've been covering lots and lots of different topics, but today we are focusing in on social media because now's a great time to do that. And we feel that we can give you more information and tips to help you get successful with social media. Is that right, Sam? You think we've got more to give here?
Always.
It's a big topic. This is a big topic. Let me turn up my volume so I can hear Sam a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so let's just start with the basics, though, guys. Let's just get in with the basics first. We always like to warm everyone up slowly. Let's not go in too deep straight away. So, Sam, actually, you might want to pick up a couple of these points that we've got here. I mean, we're just focusing in on 3 platforms today, okay? Because we feel like Twitter, whilst Twitter is a really cool platform, I use Twitter a lot for personally, just looking on, reading the news. For businesses,
You've sent it in there nicely with saying that you use it for the news. 67% of the highest interacted with tweets in the last 2 years have been relating to politics. So, I go on Twitter specifically to look at what Donald Trump is shouting about. That's it, really. a lot of people use their Twitter platform now as their customer service kind of interaction. I mean, I certainly complain on Twitter as well. But yeah, I mean, to generate leads or new business, I wouldn't really say it's there anymore.
I agree. So let's for that reason focusing on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn more so today. We've got guys, a lot of you have been asking for LinkedIn help. Actually, we've had a lot of feedback in that area. Now we're coming to that at the end of the webinar, so do stick with it. I'm a big tease, aren't I? Every week I say at the end at the end we are talking about LinkedIn, and we're going to show you how to unlock the algorithm. Really, so I've got some good tips there, and I'm going to be ending the webinar with I think I've got about 16 content ideas that you can use. You can just take from us, and we've been getting 3,000-4,000 engagements per post. So here's our content ideas coming at the end. But yeah, this is sort of the three platforms here. Each platform is good for different reasons, and you have a different audience on each platform, and that's a kind of starting point for us. And just bear in mind that LinkedIn is more of a professional, obviously, more of a professional kind of learning-based platform. But just to deep dive into that slightly, obviously the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, Facebook has 2.4 billion active users. Just let that sink in. 2.44 billion active users. Instagram now has 1 billion active users. I mean, that is incredible, isn't it? We haven't talked about YouTube so much, but the good news is we are going to be going into a YouTube webinar in the near future. So we're actually going to deep dive into YouTube and talk to you about how you can use YouTube for your small business. You want to be using video. You need to be promoting those videos on YouTube. And we're going to show you more on that in a future webinar. But bearing in mind that has 2 billion users as well. So as you know, a lot of people use YouTube and spend a lot of hours each day using YouTube now. So Sam, I mean, is there any sort of particular thing? I'm just looking at these numbers here, and I see that obviously on Facebook, you've got majority of females using Facebook. And then with, say, for example, LinkedIn, the majority's male. So
I mean, the biggest things to pick out here, are the age ranges. So if you're targeting specific age ranges, then you're going to be going to a specific platform.
I was going to say on that though, if I'm a small business owner and most of my customers, let's say are over 40, right, and possibly even older. What am I thinking now in terms of social media? Is there any point in me bothering with social media?
Well, the age ranges there are very low, actually. With Facebook as well, they have gone to the higher end, but the majority of Facebook's users are now between 25 and 55. The 18 to 25 have migrated to Instagram, as you can see there. And anything under that, you're looking at TikTok or YouTube, really.
That's right, and we'll come back to that in a minute, because Facebook has an older demographic now, a lot older. It's shifted quite considerably since 2015, I think it is. So I'm going to circle back on that in a moment. So no, in a nutshell, social media is something that is a bit of an art, a dark art for a lot of small business owners. I can imagine a lot of you thinking, how do I get better engagement? How do I get better leads from social media? Well, let us try and help you with that. We have talked to you in the past about setting up your business page. So I try not to repeat myself too often on these webinars, but we've talked in the past about including your unique selling points on your bio, making sure that your page has a name claimed for it, a short URL. So this is one of our customers, actually. So shout out to Dress Place, brilliant bridal shop in Nottingham. Hello, if you're watching. They've got a great Facebook page, basically. They've got a very nice, clean logo. So always make sure you've got your logo in your profile picture. Do make sure. I've seen so many businesses that have an image or a photo in their profile picture. Make sure it's your logo. your logo is at the center of your brand. It's what people distinguish you and your business for. So
I had, just to pick that up,
Yeah.
I had an argument with one of our clients last week about this, because she thinks that her brand is her face over her logo. So her logo was her face.
Right.
And I was just telling them, if a client is telling their friend about your business, and they've never seen you before, they've never interacted with you before, and they see your face, they are likely to just go over it because they don't know who you are. But if they saw the name of the business and the logo of the business, you can zero in on something like that. Social media is all about image and aesthetics. So you need to make sure that people can pick it up very quickly. Otherwise, they are just going to move past.
Yeah, and it's that really clear, distinguished logo that is it's just really make sure it's modern and clean. If you need a designer to redo your logo, I recommend doing that massively. So it's also about having a clear your unique selling points clearly popping out within the first few seconds of looking at your page or your website. We've talked about all this before, but these are some of the basics. Make sure it's not a personal page as well. So many business owners are saying to me, is it okay that I use my personal profile, my Facebook personal page as a business page? No, definitely create a business page. It's free. It's easy to do. Of course, we can help make one for you. It'll take 15-30 minutes to do. So create a page, a business page. Make sure it's not a personal page.
Just on the flip side of that as well, if people are worried that they have a business page and they don't want it posting on their personal page, they do have to be connected, and that is a safety feature, in that Facebook doesn't want random people creating random businesses, so you can be scammed. But if you do have a business page, it's not going to reflect your personal page, but they do need to be connected together.
Absolutely. And is everyone checking their analytics, their insights? Because that's a tool that gives you insights into who's looking at your page, who's engaging with your page. Keep an eye on analytics as well. We've been through many of these different bits and bobs in previous webinars. And I just wanted to say on the topic of the Facebook business page, do make use of the features. Take a bit of time out to go into your page settings, because within the page settings, you can see that you've got a templates feature where you can actually change the layout of your page. So the layout of your page can be adapted to depending on the industry that you're in. So have a look at templates and the tabs within that as well. So for example, a good example would be the Dreams beds company. Their page is looking very slick. Indeed, on their cover image, they have their Trustpilot reviews. Can you see at the top right? They've got their Trustpilot reviews. We believe this is really important when it comes to increasing conversion rates, increasing actual people inquiring with you. If you've got Trustpilot, or if you're using a review platform like that and your reviews are good, make sure to have that in as many places as you can. And you can see that Dreams, who spend thousands and thousands, tens and tens of, maybe even hundreds of thousands of pounds a month on marketing and the best talent in the UK, well, they know that having their Trustpilot reviews up there in their cover image is benefiting their business and the engagement and the inquiries. So that's a good little tip. Basically, in a nutshell, research your competition, guys. So if you haven't done so already, research your close competition, but also research the big brands. Have a look at the big brands. So if you're a bed company, and I mentioned beds because I was just talking to a local bed company the other day, and I showed him Dreams beds, and he's like, I can't compete with Dreams beds. No, we're not saying you'll compete with them. What we're saying is copy them. Copy the best. These guys are spending, like I say, tens of thousands on marketing every week, every month. But it's actually quite easy to replicate the success that Dreams are having with their marketing. And we're pointing those bits and bobs out now, whether it be the really clean, clear profile picture, the logo. Notice how how much effort's gone into that logo. The fact that they've claimed their page URL or they've got the reviews on there. And look, if we just look at the page a bit deeper, they've obviously got their Trustpilot reviews at the top right. But if you look on the left-hand side there, can you see on the left, there's a tab, it says Home, and then it says Trustpilot reviews. You can add a tab to your Facebook page with your reviews, Trustpilot reviews, for example. You can even add Instagram tabs, Twitter tabs, Pinterest, etc., YouTube. So looking at this page a bit more, if I go down on the page, one of the first things I see is that they've got their videos right underneath the cover photo. So the first thing we see is videos. Now, we're going to be talking about videos in a short while, but video is such an important part of your social media. So I'll come back to video in a moment. But in terms of dreams, if you look at the posts, this is the last post I think they made, or one of the most recent posts that they made. We'll be coming into posts in a bit more detail shortly, but just note the fact that they've actually created a graphic for this post. They've actually got someone to make this graphic or
it's video, a video, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just I've seen them use this as a graphic as well, singly, just as a graphic. But this is a video. But they're obviously their post there is very useful. It's all about safety, etc., etc. They're using bullet points. But I'll be coming back to posts in a short while. But I just wanted to kind of tease you in terms of if you know a graphic designer, maybe someone in the family, maybe a friend of a friend or whatever, do consider now and again. It doesn't have to be all the time, but creating a graphic for your posts, and like something like this, for example, and it would have your logo in that graphic. They get a lot more engagement when you actually create graphics for posts. Instead of just putting a photo up or just a post of text, actually creating something that's branded to your business does have an impact. So in terms of the basics, we're still talking about the basic in terms of the page itself. This company has their Trustpilot reviews in their tabs. Trustpilot reviews there. So you can see a snapshot. I've clicked on the Trustpilot reviews tab and it's having a look at all the reviews. But they've even got an Instagram tab on there as well, which this is within their Facebook business page. So we're on Facebook here. We're not on Instagram. We're actually looking at their Facebook page, and I can see their Instagram profile within their Facebook page. Has everyone explored this? Has everyone made use of all of these features that are available? Make sure you use as many of the different features available as you can. So just focusing in on another company. So if you're a kitchen company, we've got many small businesses who have joined the webinar groups who have been, small local kitchen companies. Well, you should be looking at the companies like Magnet, for example, and see how they're doing it. Take a look at their cover image. Take a look at the quality of the imagery and the clarity of these images. You're probably thinking that to get something like that would cost tens of thousands of pounds. No. I mean, even myself or Sam could do something like this in 15, 20 minutes. But one of our designers, if you need any help with this stuff, we can certainly help. And it wouldn't, it's not going to cost much at all. Basically, we're talking 50 quid, and you've got really nice graphic at the top of your home, of your Facebook, and etc. etc. But if you know a graphic designer, or if you've got a friend that's designing, just make sure that your imagery is clean, modern, and has you're making use of your brand. Okay, what is your marketing message? We've talked about this before in previous webinars. So you can see that Magnet have gone for kitchens are made for bringing families together. How good is that? Look, their marketing team have come together at the start of a month and go, right, what are we going to put on our across our different platforms, our website, our Facebook page? What are we going to focus in on for this month or this quarter? And everyone should be doing that. As a small business owner, you should be sitting down with your team or even just brainstorming yourself at the beginning of each month and deciding, what am I going to focus in and what's my message for this month or this next quarter, 3 months. And Magnet have gone with this one, and the image is just a baby in the sink. I mean, that's just a photo, so they're easy to come across. And all I've done is just stuck a bit of text over that image, and it looks great. And it's giving a certain feeling to that business. And they keep changing it. They keep changing the imagery every month, every quarter, and you should be too. Don't keep the same messaging in your cover image on the top of your website homepage. Change it. Make sure it's dynamic. Make sure it fits how people are feeling, the trends, seasonality, etc., etc. So I saw that Magnet have Trustpilot reviews tab as well. And it's just a great thing to do. It just check out not only the competition, but the big brands and copy them. And that's how we've learned. If we're absolutely honest, we've learned from the biggest brands as well. For example, Magnet are using a post here, which is a poll. They've simple poll. Vote for your favorite below: white chocolate or milk chocolate. It's World Chocolate Day. So what they've done is they've obviously looked at what's going on in the world at the moment. It's World Chocolate Day, and that was maybe yesterday. Sam might know. And they've just put a poll out to say what's your favorite, white or milk chocolate. Really simple, but make sure your posts are, like I say, you're thinking about what's going on in the world and have a research online. Go to Sam. What would you do? Would you go to Google and say, what day?
There is a website called onthisday.com, and it gives you every event for the history of time, and it will also give you if it's any specific day.
Great. Onthisday.com.
Yeah.
Great. That's a good one, actually. I didn't know that myself. So onthisday.com, you can have a look at what's going on in the world, and you can, like I say, relate your posts to those things. Now, you're probably thinking, how is this going to get me business? How am I going to get inquiries from a post like this fluffy stuff that, I haven't got time to do, or I've no interest in doing? Well, it's this kind of stuff that over 6 months, 12 months starts to build up. And you won't see an impact. So if you follow our guidelines now, our tips, in 6 months you will see the benefit of this. You really will. And we have ourselves from doing this in the past and embracing social media. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm not an avid social media user myself, and we weren't really focused on social media up until 2 years ago. But since embracing it 2 years ago, we've seen things absolutely take off through social media. So it does take time to see the result of this sort of stuff. So I'm just going forward through this a little bit, and just one thing I want to highlight in terms of the basics is make sure you do link your various platforms to your social media pages. So just a couple of screenshots. On the left-hand side, this is a company's GMB. You might not be able to see it, but we all know what Google My Business looks like. We've talked about Google My Business in previous webinars. But if you've got to make sure you have your social media links in your Google My Business on your website as well. Make sure your links are on your website. When you do have your links on your website, by the way, guys, make sure it opens up in a new tab. Be sure. So if you want to check now your website, just go to your website and check your social media links on your website. And when you click on those social media icons or links, does it open up in the same window, or does it open up in a new tab or window? Make sure it opens up in a new tab or window, because when it opens up your social media in the same window, you effectively, the visitor is losing your website. Your website's gone, if that makes sense. So make sure it opens in a new tab or window. Just a little basic one. Still on the basics. What time are we? We're time's ticking, so I better hurry up. So you do need to know your audience, and we talked earlier about the different types of audiences. But Sam, this is what you were referring to before, in that if you have a look at the sort of older generation, born 1945 and earlier, since 2012, Facebook has grown fastest amongst that older generation. So look at the growth in Facebook usage from people born 1945 and earlier. Okay,
I was reading something on this yesterday or the day before. It's grown about 10%, Facebook, since lockdown happened as well.
Wow.
And obviously everyone's having issues with Facebook at the moment. But yeah, people are still embracing it, still using it. And so it is time. If you've never really embraced social before, get a Facebook page. It takes, an hour at most if you're doing it yourself.
Definitely.
And, there's a whole new ball game out there for you to play.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be looking at posts in a second. So let's talk about posts in a second. But just to kind of tease you a little bit on posts, this is we're looking at Magnet still, and Magnet. If you notice, they're doing a giveaway, a freebie Friday giveaway. So what they seem to do is every Friday they do a freebie. It's called a freebie Friday, obviously. So they have like a theme, don't they? Like a series, like a post series every Friday. And what they're doing here is they're giving away 4 of these kitchen prints they've teamed up with another company, which is always a good thing to do, guys. If you know any local companies, maybe, obviously not a competitor. So if you're a kitchen company, you might know, or you might want to get in there with a printing shop or printing company local, and you can team up and do these kind of giveaways. Have you ever considered that? If not, there's a new idea for a post straight away. So I'm just focusing on the teaming up thing because I don't mention this later on, but do think about speaking to local businesses that you could team up with like this.
Particularly now, independent business is huge and is only becoming more important. So if you can start even like a collective with lots of different local businesses, you're only going to benefit from it.
I agree. Now is the time to reach out to local businesses and see if you can combine. Can they do a giveaway with something that you've got? Can you do a giveaway with something that they can offer? If that makes sense. So, but let's go a little bit more into creating successful posts. So creating successful posts is the thing that we get asked the most about. Like, how can I get more engagement for my posts? What can I do to increase engagement and then in turn get more inquiries and relevant inquiries? Okay, well, first of all, you might want to consider creating a calendar, and this is what we do, and this is what many businesses we know have success with. They're actually organizing what you're going to do on each day of the week. So Twitter actually put a bit of a content calendar inspiration post out just last year. And, for example, on Monday, they said retweet a tweet that you think followers would find useful. So they're actually saying find something that's useful and retweet it. On Tuesday, they're saying ask your followers a question, and so on and so on and so on. And Friday, it's create a Twitter poll. So actually plan out your week, okay? And again, this will help you have more structure, because what we find with small business owners is a lack of structure and a lack of planning just results in a load of random posts. Sam, do you see that a lot? Because you work a lot with small businesses and social media. I find there's a lot of random posts being done.
Oh yeah. Even myself when I'm doing it,
That's not good.
It is hard, if you are posting every single day, and you build kitchens or whatever, you could your content in your head, you want to sell a kitchen, but with the 80-20 rule, people don't want to be sold to constantly, so you're having to come up with interesting things about kitchens to engage your clients. So you really do need some structure and some direction with it. Otherwise, you're just going to end up either posting nothing, posting sales stuff, or just posting random things which don't actively, relate to your business.
Absolutely, yeah. So guys, do avoid, talking about your products and services in a salesy way or promotional way in all of your, most of your posts. Avoid doing that as much as you can, and limit it to 20% of your activity. So actually promoting your product, your service, your business, talking about yourself 20% of the time. Okay, this is the biggest problem we see with small business owners and the posts that businesses create. It's the majority of them about their service, their product, And that is what we call the 80-20 rule. And this is a general known kind of marketing thing in terms of 80% should be more about adding value, right? Or entertaining or educating. And when I say adding value, I hope we all I hope that all makes sense, because if you'd asked me 5 years ago, what does adding value mean? I probably wouldn't be able to answer. But now I've been in marketing, so, maybe even just speaking to more business owners like you guys, I think adding value is just a sense of, making sure that the end person gets something back from your post, learns something, is entertained, laughs, actually finds it funny, for example. And going back to the learning something, can actually do something with that, can actually get something back from your post. So the 80-20 rule is very important. But I think that schedule and calendar, as Sam said, is super important to get some kind of structure.
Yeah, I would put in a proviso there. Don't plan too far ahead. Your social media is meant to be reactive. So you want to be keeping it quite fresh. I know some people, they work for large companies like Magnet. They have to plan 6-12 months ahead, and their social media can get quite stale very quickly, particularly, as the world is changing every single day now, even more so than it used to. You don't want to seem like you're just a robot tweeting or posting things consistently.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And actually tying in with that, the quality is important. It's not just about the quantity. Sorry, it's all about its quality. And so, as a small business owner, you're thinking, I can't write a post every day, and we get that. We don't expect you to. In fact, we would encourage you not to focus on writing a post every day or every other day or even 2 or 3 times a week. Instead, focus on quality. All right, so don't worry about the amount of posts that you're writing. Focus in on the what you are actually writing and how it adds value to your audience. Okay, make sure your audience is getting something from that post. So less is more, even sometimes. So offering value. If all you do is pitch and sell, which is just basically a hard word for saying, if you're talking about yourself and your business and your service and your products, people will turn off. You'll get some engagement, guys. You will be getting some engagement. You might get 10 likes, 5 likes for every post. But you could be getting 50 if you were adding value on a constant basis. Now, adding value and focusing on quality, it will take a good 4, 5, 6 months to start to see the return from that. So don't give up. And I'm going to keep saying that throughout this webinar. Do not give up. You might think you're not getting anywhere with these posts. You may be spending half an hour writing a post. That's okay. It will take 6 months to start to get that engagement. But also, what this does in terms of you and your, it builds those relationships and it builds the trust. Okay, so if you're just pitching and selling all the time, it's harder to build those relationships. Social media is all about building a relationship between you and your audience. It's that relationship which is key. And so be human, be honest, post great content. That should be the kind of mantra. Human, honest, and post great content. Okay. And going back to that, we looked at this one earlier, this giveaway thing that we talked about. And so we're just helping you here create successful posts. So how to create a successful post. So we're talking about focus on the quality. The 80-20 rule. Don't be pushing your products and services all the time. Add value, educate, humor, even make people laugh. That is adding value. Okay, I follow people because those people are funny, and that enriches my life. So it's humor is a big thing as well. But we'll be coming to humor in a minute, though. We've got a point that we want to make on that. In terms of we said about actually having maybe a regular series, like a theme. And this is a big tip in terms of helping you get more structure and consistency. Having like a regular series, Sam, you might want to elaborate on all of this. It makes your social media feel more like an event, right?
Yeah. So, there's also, you can jump on hashtags as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, so if, Freebie Friday, it means that somebody knows that every Friday you're going to give something away. So they actively pursue your content on a Friday. You're not just hoping that, the algorithm will feed your content to them. They are actively going out. Also, everybody likes a freebie. I'm sure we're going to talk about freebies next as well. But yeah, you want people to search out your content. You don't want to have to force it down people's throats. So I guess that's kind of where I'm coming from with makes it feel like an event.
What other ideas in terms of like an event, or apart from giveaways and freebies, is there anything else that you can?
Kind of interviews. You could do a once-a-month interview with somebody, in your industry. Always keep it relevant as well. Don't just do Throwback Thursday and post pictures of your kids when they were young. If you sell kitchens, you might get some engagement with the human factor, but you're just going to get some random people coming in there. You can do kind of motivational Monday if you're like a gym or a personal trainer or kind of a health food kind of company. So you can get on that kind of life mantra thing. Sorry, my brain has gone blank.
Well, you could do. I was going to add to that actually and say, you could even do like a do it yourself Sunday, a DIY Sunday.
Yeah.
If you're a builder or whatever, something related to. You could even put a post out and schedule it. Obviously, you don't have to write the post on a Sunday. You can write the post on a Thursday, but schedule it for the Sunday. And every Sunday or every Friday, whatever it may be, people are expecting this do it yourself help posts and something like that, and it may be just around the house, little things that you can do around the house to, or if you're a home interior shop or business, then you might pick out an item every week or every month, your favorite Friday. I don't know, but I'm just making this up. So it could be a plant pot that you found and it really is cool, and you think a lot of your followers would love to see, and things like that.
You could also kind of curate your followers' actual content as well, so you're not having to come up with it. So follow a Friday and you actually put a picture of somebody has put this up and you like it and it came from your store, that kind of thing. And somebody's just asked in the chat, what about an idea for a travel agent? That would be a really good one for that. So if somebody's posted, I went on holiday with this company, aren't we looking great in the sun? It will attract people straight away.
Yeah, and on that, get your audience to, you don't have to write the content. Well, I'll mention this in a minute, but you can actually get your audience to write the content for, they put the pictures up of their holiday or whatever, and you can pick out a picture or make sure they're using a certain hashtag as well. So you say, hey everyone, use this hashtag on your photos and we'll pick out the best one every week or something like that, right? But you're effectively using your audience to write the content. They're putting the photos up and you pick out the best one. So there's lots and lots of ideas around that. But a regular series is extremely popular with the big brands, and that tells me it works. Okay, so that tells me. And so these are small gains. These are incremental gains. These are things that will take 2, 3, 4 months, like I say, to sort of start. But if you just keep doing this, if you stick with it and start doing this now, trust us. That's not a great phrase, but trust me, that will pay off in 6 months, 12 months. Really, really well. I know businesses now that have been doing this for 2, 3 years, etc., and get all of their business from social media, from Facebook or LinkedIn. I know a guy that started doing this a couple of years ago, and he just writes posts on LinkedIn now, and he gets all of his inquiries and clients from LinkedIn inbox. So people just go, hey, I saw your post earlier, and they're dropping him a message saying, I saw your post earlier. I wonder if you can help me out. And he started just writing posts like this for months and months and months with no engagement. And then eventually people started to engage. It started to get more reach. Because once you get one kind of influence or someone sharing your post, that then it's word of mouth basically. So stick with it. And a contest or a giveaway is really, these are huge, guys. If you can do this, and if you want any help with this, if you want to speak to us one-to-one, because this is such a big way of attracting engagement and getting new business. Okay, we did it 3 years ago with a website. We gave away a free website design. We had our lead designer create a 5-page website for free. I could not believe the amount of engagement we had. And on the back of that, we had all these new businesses saying, can we actually get you to do our website? It was incredible. We stumbled across this a few years ago. And it really does work. So people can't resist the free thing. It is so good. So how do you do this giveaway stuff? Okay. Obviously you get this huge engagement. Well, in your post, and this is something we did in ours, make sure you get people to take action. All right. So in your post, you either need people to comment, tag a friend. You get them to do all of this if you want. Like our post, share the post, tag a friend in the comments, for example. You might see this on social media yourself, but it really works incredibly well. So what happens is someone will comment on the post because they obviously want something for free. And if you've got them to tag a friend or tag a business or whatever, that friend or business then sees that post, even though they weren't following your page. Okay. And then when they like that comment, so someone's tagged the friend and that friend then likes that comment, all of their friends see your post. And then that new friend can comment on the post to tag their friend, and you get the picture, right? It's like a cascade effect in that you get people commenting and tagging other people in there and sharing your post. If you get people to share a post, wow, the cascade effect of how far that post can go. So what you're trying to do is get the post reach out to as many new people as possible. And this is the best way to do it. So if you can, try to run a contest or giveaway and try to relate that prize to your brand if you can. Obviously we gave away a free website design. We don't do that very often. Websites take hours to build, but it was certainly worth doing once at least. But now what we try to do is little things now and again. But if you can do a little prize, something related to your brand, wow. Sam, anything on that one? Because that one does really work well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would say the more related to your brand it is, the less likely you are to have just random freebie grabbers coming in. And also, the more you ask people to do, the less reach you're going to get, but the more relevant people are going to engage with the contest itself. So obviously, if you just ask somebody to like and comment, everybody and the dog will be there if you're giving away a free holiday. But if you're asking someone to like, comment, share, tag a business, and the prize is, a management consultancy meeting and you're a management consultant, what you're going to do is get somebody who actively wants to work with your brand, and they will be showing you to people who would also want to work with their brand too.
Definitely. Totally agree. And obviously, you added this bit as well, a little checklist, make sure you've got terms and conditions, a point of contact, and a creative way to enter. The creative way to enter actually is quite a big point. So, you can get people to actually create something, draw a picture of your, I don't know, perfect kitchen, just making this up. But, get people to create something and enter that way. I'll take a photo of your favorite, whatever that may be. If we've got a few holiday cottages businesses in here in the webinar, and if you're in that industry, accommodation, maybe get people to take a photo of their favorite, I don't know, beach, forest, destination, whatever it may be, and you pick out the best photo. A friend of mine's a wedding photographer. He had 2 photos up, and he got people to vote on which photo they prefer, and they got a free wedding photography, and it blew up. It went viral, literally. He got tens of thousands of engagements. So really, really powerful stuff. Okay, so let me know in the comments, by the way, if our little heads are at the bottom right. If you really want to, Sam as well, you can move those to the bottom left and right whenever you see it overlapping or something. By the way, if we're blocking something on the presentation, do let us know. But you might need to keep moving them back left and right, Sam. But anyway, I'm just trying to make sure everyone can see the images that we're showing. So make sure you also consider what we said in terms of letting your fans do the talking. We said earlier that you don't actually sometimes have to do all the work. So encourage people to tag photos and tie that photo tagging in with a freebie, for example. I'll come to the live video in a minute, but encourage photo tagging. Before I go on here, Sam, you mentioned this as well. Let fans do the talking.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, basically, you do something that your fans will engage with. You can then build a hashtag around that and ask them to do it. And then all you have is basically a pot of free content for you. And then your fans, if you use their image, will enjoy that you have engaged with them. So you're just kind of building up that bubble all the time whilst getting free content.
Yeah, absolutely. And it increases engagement and reach. So getting people to tag your business or using a hashtag that you've asked people to do, getting to add that to their photo. And one other thing you can do is if people put photos up or tag, you can go live. When you go live, you can pick out the winner or the best ones that you've seen. So let me just go into that. Oh, ignore that chat. Let me just go into that a little bit more detail here. So we're going to ask you, we're going to say, if you can, go live, right? And when you go live on social media, you might want to give a shout out to those people that commented or tagged you on those photos. Let me explain that a little bit differently. So going live, this is still related to posts and engagement, but going live really does help with that engagement and builds trust and relationships. Now, one thing that we've seen successful quite often in social media is, let's say we put a post up. So as a small business owner, you put a post up on your social media page, right? And you say on that post, comment, tag 3 friends in the comments, or tag 2 friends in the comments on this post, right? And we'll go live at 4:00 and announce who's won a prize. Okay, so you can tie this all in to the giveaway, to the tagging, to the commenting. So for example, we see it happen a lot. So someone puts a post up and they say tag 2 friends in the post. So your post goes up, and the audience, comes on your post, has a look on your post, and says, "Hey, Sam King and then at Bob, and I'll tag my friends into that post." And then you'll be going live later that day or whatever, even half an hour later, and you'll be going like, "Hey everyone, thanks for the comments in the post earlier. I'm gonna pick out 2 people, 2 lucky winners or 1 lucky winner. Matt Wiles, you've tagged Sam and Bob. Well done, you've won X," right? And this kind of interactivity, if you do this on a regular basis, the engagement levels and this is how you use social media effectively. It really will work very well. But going live as well doesn't have to just be about talking to your audience and announcing winners to prizes. We recommend you go live to potentially do like how-to guides. I talked about DIY, maybe how someone can, stand a table effectively. For example, if you're a builder, maybe you could do a tour of your premises or venue. So you might be a wedding venue, or you might be an accommodation. You might want to do a live tour. Doing it live is so much more fun than just watching a video. Videos are great, but live just really connects you with your audience. And that's what you're trying to do here, is you're trying to build a relationship. And a bit almost like how we have done it, guys. There's a lot of regulars in this webinar, and I know who you are, I know your names, and we appreciate your time every week. And it's almost like we have a relationship. I could call some of you out now, whether it be Denise, Steve, Gareth. You're all here. I know you're here, even though I can't see you at the moment. But this whole interactive, think about what we're doing here, and think about how you can do the same with your audience. I have seen this happen. There's a lady that was in the webinars has done this recently, and I'm watching her on social media, and it is it's exploding. She's getting loads of engagement from doing this kind of stuff, and she actually has no time to come in the webinars. And she actually messaged me saying, "Sorry, Matt, I just cannot get to these webinars because I'm doing the stuff that you've been showing me over the last 3 months." And not, we're not bragging. We're just saying this stuff does work, and we really want you to try it. So do a meet the team. Do a kind of here I am at work, guys. Soon in the next few weeks, I'm going into the office and I'm going to do a little tour of the office in the webinar. So do this sort of stuff. It does build relationships. It builds trust, and you can go live really easily within Facebook. You'll see the icons. You'll see where to do that. It's very straightforward.
You can go live on LinkedIn now as well, which is quite interesting. It's all the same thing. It's a button. It will then open up a webcam, and you can talk basically.
Yeah, well, that is powerful if it's LinkedIn, because that is more of a potentially, if you're a B2B company, business to business, commercial, then that is really powerful, especially for the likes of InfoServe. So that's a good one.
I think with live as well, I didn't make a slide about it, but going behind the scenes is a really good way to build that trust. Not only are you giving people an insight into what you do to get the service or the product that you promote, but also if something goes wrong, people really enjoy it. We're that type of people that we like bloopers. We like to see that people are human. We've already spoken about kind of be human. So if you're showing them exactly what you're doing to create the thing that you give, then they are actively kind of seeing it and believing you and building into that brand.
I agree. It's all about diving into the brand and building that brand. And it is like a mystical, dark art, guys. This is why, we recognize that this is a leap. This is a sort of next step in maybe what you're doing, and it's kind of a bit scary. But you've got to, believers, when we say if you do these things over the future months, you'll start to see it pay off. It builds your brand. The building of a brand takes a lot of time, but the hard work will pay off. It's just hard to see how it will pay off. But as Sam says, behind the scenes, meet the team at work, etc. You can do it. Obviously, Instagram is another hugely popular way to go live. But make sure you save the video as well. Most of you probably will, but save the video, because what you can do with those videos is you can then add them to a series within your videos, within your pages. So on Facebook and on Instagram, you can actually curate like little kind of series and featured stories and featured live videos and things like that. So think about the series. It goes back to that whole series conversation is, can you do a DIY Friday? Can you do I don't know what I said earlier, some at home Monday or whatever it may be, but you think about how this all links, and then you save these videos and you label that series, How To Friday, for example, or Freebie Friday, and you can actually label and it's just about exploring and getting a hands on with it. And on Instagram, you can see here on Instagram, you can add it to the featured stories, and that's exactly, we've talked about this before. Obviously, this is a restaurant in Leeds, very nice Japanese restaurant, if anyone's in the Leeds area, by the way, and they have curated featured stories. Look at the branding as well. Actually, you could probably, if I wanted to be critical, I would say that it's a bit repetitive. It's like the same logo and colors on each one. Maybe they could have chosen a slightly different variant of that for each. See the circles, but they've created and labeled the different videos, and you can upload lots and lots of videos to each one. So the events one in the middle there might have 50 different short videos, bite-sized videos. And talking of bite-sized videos, video content does get a lot more shares. It's as simple as that. Than than video, that's wrong, than photo or text. There's a little bit of we rarely make mistakes here on the webinar, but in that first line it should be more shares than photo or text. So video content gets a lot more. It's 85% of Facebook videos are watched without sound as well. So do bear that in mind, is when you are creating a bite-sized video, consider that a lot are made watched without sound. So you can actually have it so you get words. The subtitles are on the video. Sam, any tips on video and things like that?
Yeah, there's lots of tips for video. So there's 3 different lengths that you need to pay attention to. The short length, which is under 15 seconds, medium, which is up to a minute, and then there's long wave, which is 3 minutes plus. If you make a long video, you will get further reach with Facebook because they can stick an advert in the middle of it. So when you bear that in mind, if you do want to make a long video, the snappier bite-sized ones, you will get more engagement with them because people don't have to sit for 3 minutes and do it. Yes, people won't really watch it without sound, with sound, because you're commuting, you're moving around, you've just walked into it. So Facebook actually has a button now, and it will put subtitles on there for you. Okay. It's in beta, so it's hit and miss. So always have a look at what they put on there, because sometimes it's like watching the news, when they do the live subtitles.
Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that is an awesome feature, new feature of Facebook, that they have that, like Sam says, it will put subtitles on the video for you. So check that one out. But video, we looked at Dreams earlier and Magna, and when I went onto their Facebook pages, video was dominating the top. Well, in terms of the tabs, even on the left hand side, their tabs, they moved video right to the top. You can shuffle tabs around and order and it had video right up there. And video is the most important part.
Well, it comes back to you're trying to grasp people's attention. Facebook autoplays videos now. Yeah. So, when you are scrolling, you'll see a video playing. It's a movement. It'll catch your eye. You'll stop and you'll have a look and you'll engage with it. If it's just an image, if you're not automatically kind of attracted to that image, you're just going to continue on. And if it's text, who reads these days? Exactly.
But, it increases engagement massively. Now, if you guys here are thinking, well, I can't do video. How am I going to do video as a small business? Just get your phone out and do an amateur video. It's absolutely fine to have it rough around the edges, amateur. That's absolutely fine. Like I said earlier about how the things you can do about how-to videos, tours, meet the team, just get you on faces and people. It creates so much more engagement. So I've looked at many of your social medias and profiles, and I was looking at one of our kind of long-term customers, and she runs an accommodation business, and very rarely are they on camera, and that means that there's another kind of huge increase in engagement that they could get from social media. So even if you're camera shy, even if you're not feeling great, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Just get on video. There's so much more benefit to be had from doing that. And obviously, if you have a video, if you use that video and you can put it on your website, by the way, you can put these videos on your website, obviously, and look at, there's a stat at the bottom there. If you look at that stat, videos on landing pages increase conversions by 80% or more. So video. In a future webinar, we're going to be focusing in on video a little bit more deeper. So we've got video, YouTube. There's a little teaser for a future webinar on its way. Now, we are hitting the 12 o'clock mark, guys, but we do have some really good content just left to go. So if it's okay with everyone, if you can hang on a little bit longer, we won't be too long, but we just have a little bit more to go, especially on the LinkedIn side of things. But I'll be whizzing through it. And of course, you can watch these back as well. But hang on a few more minutes if you can. We're talking about posts and making sure you get humor in your posts. This is a Sam King slide. I can tell it's a Sam. But don't be afraid to show humor. Humorous images, satire, etc., etc. Memes, memes aren't for everyone, okay? And I have no motivation to put memes on our social media, but you don't have to. Just any sort of humor, any satire, just show that human side of yourself. These are quick little tips now about posts. We've got some express tips here. The polls thing is great. People love to share their opinions. If you didn't know that already about social media, people love to share their opinions. I think that one's a given. with social media. So check out using polls. You can do that on Instagram. This is an Instagram screenshot, or you can obviously do that on Facebook and LinkedIn in different ways. Okay, so I did say that I want to just cover LinkedIn quickly. So last couple of minutes on LinkedIn, because for businesses, LinkedIn is extremely powerful. But with LinkedIn, you've got to focus more on the education and thought-provoking side of content. Not so much the fun side, you can start to do that more on a rare basis, but more the education and thought-provoking. What do I mean by thought-provoking? Well, before I talk about that, make sure your profile is beefed up, okay? Make sure that you have updated your headline. So if you go into LinkedIn, go into your profile, go into your settings, you can update a headline, you can put an about. With that headline, is it a headline, Sam, I think it's called still?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the headline, make sure it's, don't just put kitchens in Manchester, kitchen company in Manchester. I've talked in previous webinars about what is the benefit of your service? What is the result of people using your service? So put something, for example, like kitchens that will improve your lifestyle, and I don't know, something that's emotion based. Use the headline to describe the benefit of what you do.
I would kind of exercise caution there. If you spend any time on LinkedIn, you'll notice content ninjas or video wizards or all that crap, basically, which is fine if that is your brand. But if you're Magna and you're saying that you're kitchen ninjas or whatever it is, it really doesn't reflect it. So if you can say we create kitchens that do X, Y, and Z, and these adjectives that you use are, they're out there, but they're not, you're not feeding into that ridiculous thing. That will work better than saying you're a kitchen wizard who provides magic spells for ovens or something like that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it's all, Sam said there, Magnet, for example, they had kitchens for the whole family, and you might in your cover image have that baby in the sink, etc., etc. So it's emotion, it's benefits based. In terms of LinkedIn, we really wanted to focus in on the post side of things really quickly on LinkedIn. And this guy's a friend of mine, and we used to work together. But he writes really good LinkedIn posts, and he's got amazing engagement now on LinkedIn. It's just him. It's just a one-man guy. He's got 86 likes on this one post. Add a thought-provoking first line. So think about the first line of your post on LinkedIn. This is really important, everyone. With LinkedIn, you might want to consider creating posts on your own personal profile here. Yes, you could have a business page as well. But Sam, what's your take on this? Because a lot of businesses create it on their personal profile.
Yeah, so there are two kind of waves of thought here. With your business profile, you can post as many times as you want in a day, and the algorithm will not tank your reach. If you post on your personal profile more than once, you'll get a good reach set, and then everything else that you post, nobody will see, because it basically gives you that. But what you can do, if you build up a big following on your personal page and you then interact with your business page, it will show your sphere of influence from your personal page, your business page post. So you basically get a big boost on your business page.
All right. Wow. Okay.
So there's a lot to think about with the Instagram algorithm, and they've just switched it up as well, which we do need to do another webinar entirely on, because they've added something called dwell time, which has really shaken it up. So now if you want your reach to, it used to just be if people interacted with it, it would go. Now people need to interact with it for a certain amount of time before the algorithm accepts that is relevant.
Okay.
Which is a complete game changer.
So we need to just have a think about this question and come back to it in a minute. What do businesses need to do to get that increase of dwell time, if that makes sense? I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that in a second. Actually, before you answer that, I know you've got a great answer to that. That's why I want to tease the audience again. Just on this one here, if you have a look at the thought-provoking first line, it makes people stop. And we see this in business. If you're a business owner, this is going to be really good. This is great for content for business owners here, because there's a lot of one-man bands, small business owners here, and this is a great tip for you. Thought-provoking first line, because if you notice on LinkedIn, you've got this see more. So at the bottom right, you've got see more. It doesn't show the whole post, so it makes people click see more, which is really good. And once people click see more, they get the rest of the post. End that post with a question, and always if you can, end it with a question. So you've started with a thought-provoking first line, and then you've got a question at the end there. Sam, just obviously going back to what you said about dwell time, kind of things that business owners can do.
It's all about kind of thought leadership now. You've basically touched on that by saying make it thought-provoking. But if you can get somebody to interact, spend a lot of time reading, because what you've said makes sense and is interesting, and then getting them to comment on it as well. Comments have always been big on LinkedIn, but now it's very, very important.
Absolutely. So actually on that, guys, I've got 4 or 5 algorithm tips in literally under 30 seconds time. You'll see those. So in terms of content ideas, we're touching on various different LinkedIn content ideas, starting with the thought-provoking first line. Oh, by the way, just before I reach that, notice how separating each line out, there's a gap. Really
just to pick up on that as well, they've changed that now. I don't know when this was from.
Yeah.
But basically they'll only show the first line now.
Oh, okay.
So the see more is even more important. So if you can essentially make your first line clickbait, but relevant to what you're talking about, people are going to have to click see more.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And because, I know this guy's a friend, he's in the industry that we're in. I always click on, his first line on the post on the right-hand side, what's wrong with my website? Like, what, he knows what he's doing here. He's making people click see more. And so, and then that's ending with a question. But notice the spacing between the lines. That is really important. People don't read blocks of content. So if you're not putting paragraphs, hitting return between each sentence, then people aren't going to read your posts. Make sure you space out the lines so it's really easy to read. And for those of you that watch this webinar back, hello, I've spoken to a few of you this week, actually last week and this week. There's dozens of you, if not hundreds of people that watch these webinars back. Here's a good slide for you to pause on. Or if any of you are watching this live, take a screenshot maybe, or take a photo, because here's our biggest content ideas for LinkedIn. Look at all these great ideas we put together for you. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, the team. And I've contributed a few myself, but you can take these ideas and use them on your own, not even just LinkedIn, but all of your different social media. But this is particularly good for LinkedIn. So there's some content ideas for LinkedIn. So I'll just go back again. There's the first few ideas, and then down again to the last few ideas. So you need to take a screenshot of those, because I'm obviously not going to go through all of those, but some really cool ideas in there. But in terms of the algorithm, our top tips are text-based posts. If you can, because avoid links to other websites. LinkedIn doesn't like it when people are going to other websites. LinkedIn wants to keep people on their platform. Makes sense, doesn't it, when you think about it? So avoid links in all of your posts. Of course, you can write one post a week, or every other week with a link going off somewhere. That's absolutely fine. But for the majority, for a lot of your posts, you might want to just have a text-based post, or obviously you can have images in there as well. So upload images and photos so people can have a look at those. Make sure people are staying on the LinkedIn platform, basically.
You can put the link in the comments if you really do want to link to the website.
Good point. Very big tip, that, actually. That's a good one, Sam. Put the link, if you want to put a link in, make sure you put it in the comments, not on the post itself. Encourage people to share your content. This is a big one. You need to speak to people now, today, and say to them, right, I'm going to start posting on LinkedIn, even Facebook and Instagram, whatever. Can you share and like my content within the hour? it's really important on LinkedIn that you get people to engage with your posts within the first hour, because the algorithm leans more towards that first hour of engagement. And the more people you get engaging with your posts within that first hour, the bigger the reach. And so what I mean by the reach, I don't mean this post will just be seen by your friends and followers. It'll be seen by, it'll be trending. It could be seen by more and more people that you don't even know about. These posts on LinkedIn go far and wide. They don't just hit your audience. So make sure you get people to engage with that post within the first hour. And again, obviously the moral of today's story of today, stick with it. It can take months for this engagement to pick up and start to turn into business. And we reiterated that many times, because it will work and it will pay off. And we know many of you will give up after a month or 2 months because you're not getting any engagement. Stick with it. It will work. Now, before everybody goes, that was a jam-packed session just on social media, specifically posts. And Sam is available for you. He doesn't know I'm saying this, so I'm sorry about this, Sam. But Sam is available for you for a one-to-one of anything related to social media. Or if you want Sam, our absolute social media guru, if you want him to run your social media for you, he can actually take over and run it for you. Or he can do an ad campaign, Facebook ads, Instagram ads campaign. He can do all this. If you want him to do that, just reach out to him. And I'm actually going to share his direct email address here.
Great.
We've never done that in a webinar before, because I believe in Sam's ability, social media, so much that you should go directly to Sam. Sam, like I say, is effectively here to be hired as your social media marketing guy. And, you know, it's a lot cheaper than hiring someone to in your business, because it certainly won't cost 20, 30K a year to hire Sam. So Sam can be used as social media, marketing, full management, Facebook ads, or just some advice and tips. Just reach out to Sam. He is there. And that's his direct email address if you want to speak to him. Okay, so because of the time, we must say obviously we'll hopefully see you next Wednesday. So hope we see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining today. It's been a real pleasure presenting today. Love, social media is such an interesting topic for many business owners. We just wanted to cover some of those things. We hope you've taken at least one or two things away from today's session. We've got another great one planned for next week. We're already planning it now. So we're already ahead of the game. We've got a great one. We will be revealing what it's all about in the next few days. I'm just going to exit this and go back to the chat. Thank you so much again for joining. Like I say, my name's Matt Wells, Operations Manager at InfoServe. And that was Sam King, social media expert here at InfoServe. And we'll say bye to everyone, but we're just going to hang back a couple more minutes to see if there's any questions. So thank you so much for joining. But those of you who've got questions, feel free to shout out. Or we have got a couple more minutes. If you fancy coming live onto the webinar now, joining us live to ask us a question, feel free to do that. Just click the speak button. So if you want to join us on the webinar quickly, click the speak button and we'll be happy to answer a couple of questions. Okay, see if there's any questions. Sam, have you been able to check some of the questions?
Yeah, there's quite a few come through, but I don't know if people are still here.
Okay, no, we've got most people. Yeah, we've got most people. Still confused. Business pages. I have one, but it's connected to a personal. Still having problems creating an individual business page. Denise, that's odd. Do you want to email Sam King, sam.king@infoserve.com? Denise might be able to answer that question.
What I will do, by the looks, people are struggling to find the tabs section on Facebook, so I'll record a video for them so they can find it, and then they can kind of see how to do it.
That's a great idea. How about everyone, just because there seems to be some common questions, how about Sam records a video, and obviously we've got your email addresses. If it's okay with everyone, we'll put that video on YouTube as a really short Sam King video, and he'll do a little walkthrough. How about that? Does that sound good? Is that okay for you, Sam?
Yeah, that would, rather than responding to everybody individually.
Yeah, that's a good one. So let's look at the questions, and what we'll do, guys, is Sam will record a video today or tomorrow. We'll stick it on YouTube and we'll email you that. So keep your eye on your inbox.
There's
Gareth,
one. I was just about to say, Gareth, running a B&B relevance of LinkedIn. At the end of the day, everybody on LinkedIn is a consumer. So it could be worthwhile kind of being on there. If you do have specific offers or you like to take in business travelers, then it might be worthwhile kind of getting on there. Don't think I've seen many, great, kind of B&B hotel style people on LinkedIn, but I mean, try it, prospect, see what happens.
Yeah, good answer. No, I agree. I do think, it's I've seen a lot of individuals on LinkedIn as an individual using it. So Gareth, consider your personal profile, you are part of your brand, and if you've got that kind of personal element to your business, then people will actually Google you. We get people Googling us. They'll Google Sam King InfoServe, for example, and see his LinkedIn profile and things like that. So make sure your personal profile is up to date, clean, and represents you in a good way.
That's a valid point, actually. LinkedIn are really, really good with their SEO. So if you start linking back to your website, and obviously you have your branding all over your LinkedIn page, it will start to come up very high on Google.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to have a look at Mira's question at the top there? Courtney, just to answer your question, yes, we do record it and we put it on YouTube. And that's a good reminder for me to share the YouTube link with everyone, which I'll do now, just while Sam just checks if there's any other questions in there whilst I grab the link. So bear with me 2 seconds.
So Mira's asked, so she's a travel agent. Now, obviously, with travel in general, it's a high purchase item. So you're never really gonna be able to directly sell to somebody on social media. What you need to do is build up that consideration before you do get the conversion. So don't give up, really, Mira. Just keep getting in front of people. Keep making sure that people know that you're there. They know that you provide X, Y, and Z, and then in the end, they will start coming to you. What you could also do as well is use the Facebook pixel and start retargeting people who have come from social media onto your website, but they haven't converted. Just start getting back in front of them. That's worth exploring as well. I know I've just used a lot of buzzwords there. Sorry.
No, it's great. Leslie, you're better at marketing than us. You've mentioned we should put the video in our Facebook group. We've got an exclusive webinar Facebook group. Link at the top of chat. I've just responded within the chat with 2 links. Leslie, that's a very good point. We'll also put Sam's video is how to walk through. We'll put it in our Facebook group. So if anyone's not joined our Facebook group, make sure to click the link. If you look at the chat, the last chat link from me, I've put our Facebook group. It's a good point, Leslie. That's a very good idea. And
Helen has asked a good one. I was playing with this morning. How do you cope with bad reviews that are rated by rivals and are not true? Facebook has actually finally got on top of that. So you used to be able to star rate anything that you wanted and it didn't matter. What happens now is you have to recommend a business, and you either say yes or no. And then you write a review of that business, and that relates to your personal profile.
Yeah.
And then it builds a star rating based on the yeses or nos. What you can then do is, because it's connected to a personal profile, is actually tell Facebook that this is a rival. They will be connected to a rival business in your area because a business has to be connected to a personal profile, and they will get rid of it really quickly.
Yeah. Very good point. And we have the same issue. We especially in digital marketing. Wow, digital marketing is cutthroat, and obviously ex-employees and things like that. It's a nightmare. We're sort of, we feel that we're at the top of our game at the moment, and offer the best quality we can possibly give, but we'll always strive to give more. But we've got people from 5 years ago that maybe slightly bitter or rivals to us that write reviews, and you can't sometimes get rid of them. It's especially on Google. Obviously, if you get any on your Google My Business, it is a nightmare, and we just see so many fake reviews. But yeah, it's a real problem for all of us. Just report those reviews on Google, though. If you do get those on Google, report them. And Graham in the chat asks, sorry, actually not Graham. It was Was it Graham? Oh, I've just lost it now because the chat's moving so much. Oh, Susan. It was Susan said, do we need to notify people that we're going live before you go live, or will people just sit? No, you don't need to notify. You don't need to do any work with that, Susan. You just need to go live because the social media platform does it for you. They will notify all of your followers that you are going live. Now, I get notifications every day from on my phone. Someone is going live, and I can just click on that, and I go straight into their live video, their live channel. So you don't have to do anything.
It is worth promoting it if you can.
Yep.
You will obviously get more people turn up. You're kind of at the mercy of the algorithm if you want it to notify people. They have to be very engaged with you as a profile if you are going to get notified, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I follow a band and they've done a lot of live stuff over lockdown, and I haven't been notified. Even though I engage with their band quite a lot. I've only learned because they've been posting, whereas my partner, who also follows the band, has been notified. So it literally depends on how the algorithm's feeling. So you will get engagement, but left and right, basically.
Okay. So no, Sam, that's a good point. With the smaller, newer businesses to social media, you might want to give a bit of advance warning. Absolutely. No, you can do, but just obviously the platform will notify people that you're going live as well.
Steven's asked about Buffer and other kind of content planners. I like Hootsuite. If we are just kind of advocating for planners, just because of how the interface is. There's different evidence on whether your reach is slightly lower if you do use a planner platform. But if you're posting to a lot of different places and you're doing it consistently, it is well worth using Buffer or Hootsuite or other things like that, just because it will save you a lot of time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Graham also mentioned about the content for LinkedIn. What we'll do, Graham, and everyone will actually put those content ideas in our Facebook group. So the Facebook group, if you haven't seen it, it's just in the chat there on one of my comments. We will put those LinkedIn content ideas in that Facebook group, so you can just check them in there as well. So good job, we've got that Facebook group. It's in hindsight, it's probably a good idea. Okay. I think we are done with the questions. Everything looks good. Just checking, making sure everyone's okay. So, guys, honestly, thank you so much for joining us today. And I miss you till next Wednesday. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's great doing this. It's really good fun. We love doing it, and we hope you get something from it as well. We're here literally just to help small business owners at the moment. We started at the start of the whole COVID thing and back in mid-March, and we've been doing it ever since. And we're going to continue doing it for the foreseeable future. We love doing it, and we love giving you all these tips and insights. And we've got more special guests in the future. We're sorting Google as a special guest. A few issues there because many of them are working from home, so there's a few technical issues with that. I think they prefer to join the webinar from the office. Maybe one day we can do a webinar from their office and do a live tour. We'll see. But thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And we'll leave it there. Questions all done. Thank you, Sam. It's been
no problem.
Pleasure. And, I'll let you tidy up your room because obviously you're moving all your stuff about at the moment. It's obviously not a permanent place, is it? I love it. It looks great. It's a lovely room. Oh, Zelda. I like it. I like the poster. Yeah.
And my Snorlax in the corner.
Everyone, you can tell Sam's a social media guru.
Oh yeah, you can have a look at my actual wall of crap.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, well, thanks again, guys. Have a lovely week, and if you need any more support from us, you know where to find us. You can either email Sam King directly. The email is at the top of the chat, or you can go to infoserve.com/support. And reach out to us, any of our team, on a one-to-one basis. We're here to help, and we're always here all week, 9 till 5. So do reach out to us. See you next Wednesday. Thank you and goodbye.
See you later.